Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into a report that promises big things from a company betting big on infrastructure. Let's see if they're building a bridge to success or just paving the road with good intentions. This report is a Form 8K, which is basically a quick update a company sends to the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, about important events. In this case, FTAI Infrastructure is telling us about a bond offering by one of their subsidiaries. A bond offering is like taking out a loan, but instead of a bank, they're borrowing from investors. The big news here is that Rapomuno, a subsidiary of FTAI Infrastructure, plans to offer about $300 million in bonds. That's a lot of money. They are calling these the Series 2025 bonds. The amount may change. It's important to note that this is not an offer to buy these bonds. They are only offering them to specific types of investors, like big institutions. So what are they going to do with all that cash? They plan to use it for a project, specifically to expand and upgrade the Repauno Port and Rail Terminal. This terminal is in New Jersey on the Delaware River, and it is used for storage and moving products from one transportation method to another. The money will fund things like new loading equipment, a tank to store liquids at extremely low temperatures, and all the pipes and connections needed to make it work. These are being called the Series 2025 facilities. FTAI Infrastructure has already put a lot of money into Repauno, over $122 existing investment. The company is projecting some pretty impressive numbers once the expansion is complete. They are aiming for annual revenues of up to $130 million and adjusted EBITDA, which is a measure of profit of up to $100 million per year on operating expenses. Currently, Repauno has agreements or letters of intent for about 79,500 barrels per day at a slightly lower rate of 323 per barrel. But here's the catch. The company is saying that there's no guarantee they'll actually hit these targets. Things could change and the actual results might be different. They are warning investors to be cautious about these forward-looking statements. The company also says that they aren't giving specific financial forecasts because it's too hard to predict things like construction costs, interest expenses, and how quickly projects will develop. These are all things that could significantly impact their actual financial results. The report includes a section called Cautionary Language regarding forward-looking statements. This is where the company reminds everyone that they are making predictions about the future, and those predictions might not come true. They mention risks related to the bond offering, the success of the expansion project, changes in commodity prices, and competition. They urge people to read their filings with the SEC for more information about potential risks. Finally, the report lists an exhibit, which is a cover page with some technical data. What's the overall story here? FTAI Infrastructure is betting big on its Repauno infrastructure, is betting big on its Repauno and significant revenue and profit increases as a result. However, they are also being careful to warn investors that things might not go as planned. There are risks involved, and the actual results could be different from their projections. Now let's take a step back and look at this from a broader perspective. FTAI Infrastructure seems to be focusing on building and improving infrastructure assets, hoping to profit from increased demand for transportation and storage. One potential strength is their existing investment in the Repauno terminal. They've already put a lot of money into it, and they have some contracts in place. This gives them a head start. A weakness is that they are taking on a lot of debt to fund this expansion. If things don't go as planned, they could struggle to repay those debts. One notable risk is that the company is relying on projections for future revenue and profit. These projections depend on things like commodity prices, which can be unpredictable. A potential opportunity is that if they are successful in expanding the Repauno terminal, they could become a major player in the transportation and storage market. In conclusion, FTAI Infrastructure is taking a calculated risk. They are betting big on infrastructure and they are hoping that their investments will pay off. However, there are risks involved and investors should be aware of those risks before making any decisions. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment and subscribe for more Corporate Decoder videos.